What is up, ladies and gents? Oh my goodness, it's your boys back at it again. Brothering Around, episode number 30, what is it, Marco, 33?
33, we are 33.
33.
We are 33 today.
33 years young? No, I don't know.
30 podcast in. We're thinking about our midlife.
That's right.
Around
we
the
just
corner.
bought a Corvette. And we're wearing our leather jacket.
With the top down, and
that's right.
Our balding is happening. So
it's happening, but we're combing it over, so you can't even tell, right?
You can't, yeah, something like that.
Right.
Something like that.
Oh, but I'm Wes Gardner, Mr. Comedy to Hobo himself, and over there we got Mr. Marco Flores. And Marco, this is gonna be kind of a little treat, I think, because I think
a little bit of a blast from a little bit of a past. So before we did all of this Brothering Around podcast, we started a YouTube channel. I was part of a martial arts team called Team Loopkicks. And tonight, we have my boy, Chris Devera, captain and elder teacher right now of Team Loopkicks with us right now. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
Good.
It's glad to have you.
Good.
It's exciting. I've never been on a
podcast.
Yeah, podcast. This is number 33 for you guys.
Yeah,
33. We did 32 of them before that.
Oh, there's 33.
Yeah, man. So got my boy Chris there, and we were brought up on this thing called martial arts tricking. And before that, we were brought up on martial arts when we were kids. So like I got to know this guy around like early 2000s, like around 98, 99. And there were videos of Chris Devera back in the day, just killing it with kicks and stuff you haven't seen back in those days. And then we got together because I lived in like San Francisco, Daly City area, and Chris lives in like San Jose area, which is like 45 minutes away from where I was. And so, we all got together, and then basically a bunch of friends just like training together, and then eventually the name Loopkicks was born. But Chris, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Let's see. Originally, I'm from Florida, and I did a little bit of martial arts there, but I didn't even like it, so I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. 14, turned 14 or 15. We had to relocate. My family had to move over to California, and I took karate again because I found out that from Ninja Turtles 2, Pizza Boy, right?
Yeah.
Ernie Reyes Jr.
He had his school in the same city. I'm like, okay, so I need to join karate again. I went to one of their tournaments. It's called West Coast Martial Arts, and Ernie Reyes, and I went to one of their tournaments, and I just saw a bunch of kids, young adults, teenagers. They did performances, and they were doing the stuff that the Ninja Turtles were doing, but without the wires, without the camera tricks.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they're literally flying right in front of my face, as they were doing the performance, and I was like, holy crap! This is it. I figured out
what I want to do. Yeah.
That's when I was 14, and I've just been obsessed ever since. That was 21 years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
I moved to California when I was 15. It's been the best thing ever for me.
Yeah, and then things just went on from there because Loopkicks was born, and then I know the team, as far as I know, the team was hanging out with each other because everybody was all from the same school, West Coast Martial Arts. They were all hanging out way before that, but as soon as the team formed, maybe a few years later, we introduced a thing called Loopkicks Camp, which at that time with tricking, it wasn't really something that was taught around the world or anywhere, right? It was just whatever martial arts you knew, and it was basically with tricking. If you guys don't know, tricking it's like a combination of like taekwondo, like wushu, capoeira, like gymnastics, you know, a little bit of breakdancing with some groundwork, stuff like that. All these mixture of styles come together, and then you can see like the high flying stuff you see in the movies. And so like back in those days, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was being spread like wildfire because, like, you know, West Coast martial arts was kind of basically in the forefront of doing all these moves, and then nobody was able to teach it, you know, because and the internet was so young at the time, right? So yeah, no, there was only like a forum that we all went to called Martial Arts Tricks, or bylang.com. We would all just like, you know, like share tapes, kind of like with wrestling. You share tape footage with each other, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from now. Like everybody's just sharing footage because now, you know, we're in the present. You know, phones have like cameras, and we could just make footage right here and there. But like back in the day, you had literally a camcorder, and then you're recording it on VHS tapes. And then if you knew somebody like across the country, you would send those tapes to that person. You guys would trade tapes. It was that sort of.
Yeah, we'd have to double that VHS.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't like send files over, that's like we had to really post mail like VHS.
Yeah, man.
You know, to study these techniques that are so like, because you know the masters, they don't really like the techniques because they're not traditional and they're not like practical. And they're not, you know, they're not the most practical things, but it is
right.
It's just about learning, you know, how your body works and how strong you can do it, fast you can do it, and then how precisely you can do it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's cool. What started as like a demonstration thing, just to kind of show off, you know, like it turned into a competitive thing too, right? At the party tournament,
right?
Like everybody started putting in their kata. They started putting fancier moves, flashier moves, and they would literally try to copy like you know, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat back in the day, Tekken, like I don't know, it's like it's cool because it's a very a fringe thing still, you know what I mean? And,
yeah, it's still very young.
It's been starting to see a lot of growth, like especially like in Hollywood and whatnot, but
yeah,
the term itself, tricking, doesn't exactly get the same credit, you know, as
and that's where I was. At least that's where my mindset has been lately. With tricking these days, is that, you know, back then, you know, when you were doing it and you were in tricking, we didn't know. I mean, generally there's kind of like an age limit with tricking because your knees can handle so much pressure. Your ankles and your legs can handle so much pressure from all the moves you do, right? So back then there wasn't really like where are we going with this, you know, with this thing called tricking. There wasn't really any jobs that were out there, maybe, but you would have to look for it, and it may have been like a niche thing. But now, at least right now, there's clear, direct ways of like, okay, you're doing this thing called tricking. You can join like Cirque du Soleil, you know, and be one of the performers there, or you could join this dance team or something, or be a stuntman, or be a coach and teach this actual stuff for the younger audience. I'm sorry, you go ahead, Chris.
No, I agree. There's like, whereas before there was no avenues to say make money and make a career off of this thing, and that's why we had to throw our first like instructional camp back in 2004, right?
Yeah.
But I'd say since then, and I'd say like at the turn of the century, they started creating job structure for trickers, you know. And it was cool. It would start with just teaching at first. You know what I mean? You can be a promoter, like an event promoter. There's a lot of top tier trickers that will promote their own tricking events. You know? Yeah. They're the high level ones that make it up to, say, Hollywood. If you guys watch, you know, if you watch any of the Avengers movies, Logan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like all the like this new crop of stuntmen. They all come from the tricking community.
Yeah,
it's interesting because the tricking community, stunt community is a little worried, right? It's like,
oh yeah,
they deal with wires, you know what I mean? And we so
with triggers, it was not so much.
No, we
not
don't.
So much wires. It's just do the move or do the fall, do this, the stunt.
It's like a big philosophy of ours is like, just your body. You know what I mean? No wheel devices, no machines. It's just you and your own body and level ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great philosophy. We were literally like flying. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's literally like there's a show called Superhuman that basically shows like on Fox that shows like, people with unique talents and stuff. And I'm pretty sure like, I mean, it hasn't yet, but like one of these days, like somebody like one of the like the best right now could be on that show and do that sort of thing, as a superhuman ability, because that's basically what it is. And tricking has been shown in like that sort of competition reality show type of thing. And Chris, you did some of that. You did some shows with like a collaboration with some other people on like TV. Did you not?
Back in the day, like my focus in the tricking end is very big on the tricking academic instructional side. Yeah. But I did try Hollywood for a little bit. And, like,
yeah.
I did like 3 shows, and I just didn't like the vibe. It's a little too competitive for me.
Yeah.
And again, I love focusing on the academic and instructional side of things, and that's what our summer camp has always been about. Is just getting as many trickers as we can together for like a week or 2, no matter the level, and we just kind of like learn and trick and share and get to know each other.
And I think
it's a lot.
Yeah, I think like
video gaming.
The camp is the only, as far as I know, the camp is the only one kind of still doing that sort of structure, right? Having the camp of instruction, and then at the same time, and then afterwards, a little bit afterwards, have the gathering, because the gathering is something that brewed from the scene. Is that you have people all over the country and the world gathering all together to go to the gym, and then just show what you can do. Throw whatever you can do, and then you can amaze some people, or you can make amazing connections and friendships with all these people all over the world, and it's an awesome feeling, really.
We're extremely lucky. You guys meet gamers all over the world, and play with each other and chat it up, and like imagine like you finally get to see that person like in person.
Yeah.
You guys automatically kind of have a trust for each other because you've been gaming with each other, and that's kind of what the gatherings do. It's like everybody knows each other from the internet already. And then when you finally get together in person,
what you meet like you did like the first time, it's all like
the energy. Yeah, like I've been watching, like I've seen a couple of videos of like the video game like championships and whatnot.
Yeah,
crap. It's like there's so much energy in it,
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody was tricky.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with the gathering, it's not even so much on competition that there's that much energy. It's just the fact that with tricking, it's just you just gather together and just throw whatever you want to do, and people will encourage you, to no ends to say like you're struggling with the move, and the people are seeing that, but they're hecka cheering you on, and then once you landed, oh man, you get like the highest praise as if it was the hardest move you ever in the face of this earth. But yet, like it's like such an achievement. And then on top of that, you have people that are like lifting you up, throwing you up in the air, like you did it, awesome, yeah. Like that's tricky.
Yeah, and it was just like a backflip, right?
Yeah, it's just like a backflip or like a one-handed cartwheel or something. And it's just simple moves like that, but yet that's people just come together and just throw that energy at you.
Yeah. Well, you say you've been trying to move all day, right? You crashed it 12 times.
Yeah.
Like, even as simple as like a one-handed cartwheel. The 12th time you landed, right? And then everybody knows that story. And it's like it's exciting. It's and it's just a one-handed cartwheel. It's not impressive, but since everybody sees that, tried it 10, 11 times, they see the story. Crashed 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, Wes, like as we're explaining this, like, is there any sort of questions that maybe we can answer? I know you're kind of like taking over.
Well, no, that's great. No, I love it, man. And the thing is, I kind of actually see the parallels between, because you know, if tricking's kind of making its way into Hollywood, I kind of see the parallels of parkour, because you know, what was it, like mid '90s is whenever David Bell like really hit his stride in parkour, and then he starts getting featured in like James Bond movies, and it starts slowly making its way into that kind of lexicon, and now people know what it is. You know, there's jokes about like on The Office about parkour. Like I wonder if and I wonder if that's going to happen, and I bet it will with tricking, because it's one of those things that you look at it and it mixes breakdancing and, you know, kind of parkour, because but you have the flat ground and, you know, just using the body's momentum, and it's almost like a magic trick. You see it and you're like, that can't really happen. You have that moment of like, that might be impossible. What he just did, you know, that's nuts. But yeah, it's not really so much a question, but I know we're going to get to it probably a little later, but I'm interested to see what the future holds for it, because it seems like there's no boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sky's the limit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, David Bell, it was B-16. Was that the name of his movie?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that came out in the 90s, and tricking, it's like, we are, I guess if, like movement to movement art, like tricking is like right after parkour in terms of breaking into industries and, you know, like career building.
Yeah. The beauty of it, though, with these movement arts is that we, not so much that we can take the thing, like say we take something from parkour. I mean, it's like, I mean, you know, maybe in internet forums, there's going to be like, oh no, parkour is better than tricking, or tricking is better than parkour. You're going to get that in forums, you know, the forums, like, you know, setting. But like really, like parkour, you know, takes the stuff that we do and add it into parkour. And then, you know, we could do vice versa, like add a movement of like parkour into like a tricking combination, because like all these movement arts can, like, you know, kind of like the Bruce Lee thing, absorb, you know, what is useful, you know, dissolve what is useless, sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's I know. Yeah, you're right. There is, like, because again, it is so, the clear aspect has been building like so quickly recently. I honestly give Marvel like credit for giving tricking a boost, because like, dozens of the best trickers are doing all the Marvel.
It gave them jobs, right?
Yeah. So now jobs. There's parents in our community that are like, you know, I could talk to them and say, hey, there's actually trickers in, you know, like Tron 2, Wolverine, Logan, like, and before, parents used to ask that, like, well, what's my kid gonna get out of this? And like, I didn't like, oh well, it feels good, you know, or like, you know, he's learning how to be fearless, or, you know, it's like, as a parent, you know, really not as much, I think you could provide for them.
Yeah,
that's another cool thing, is that like there hasn't been a movie that I've watched where I noticed like, oh hey, that's so and so. Oh hey, that's so and so. Next movie, so and so. Like, yeah, I mean, so far, or at least the movies that I watch, I always recognize like, oh hey, Mark Canonizato. Okay, over here. Oh hey, yeah. I ran another like big name tricker. Like I already know. It's like cool, you know, they're doing their thing because they're all in these movies and such. It's such a cool thing just to be osmosis around, you know, at this point.
Really, like you can really like literally physically manifest.
Yeah.
Some kind of
the community has landed like the Hurricane Kid. I mean, it's like part of the repertoire now. And I'm talking 3-4 spins with 3-4 kicks. And it's like, yo, some of these movies to like joke around back in the day, you know, it's like they're really doing it. And so not just in the sense of career, but also in the sense of you know, physical human movement, pushing those limits. Trickers are like onto something. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is not something that's supported by, say, like, you know, centuries of gymnastics. You know, gymnastics been around for centuries. Or no, not centuries, decades, right? The growth has been so quick. And, I think we can give a lot of credit to that, to not just video games, but the internet. The learning curve of things has just like skyrocketed since the internet, or since.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the basics look like now compared to back in the day.
Right.
Jeez.
Like we were doing 2 spins back in the day, and that was the hot shit. But now it's 4 or 5 spins.
4, yeah. 4 spins on a corkscrew, or 4 spins on a butterfly twist.
Yeah,
it's nuts. It's nuts, and it's not even. Well, there's no footage shown yet, but like the people that came from the originated art, like say wushu or whatever. I mean, I haven't seen any any wushu practitioners that've done it yet, because there's no footage out there yet. But if say trickers are doing it first before the originated art, then that's nuts.
And finding out our own ways to do it as well. Like most of us don't have our own training facilities. We have to rent space from gymnastics, cheerleading gyms, and their floors aren't exactly like fitted up for us perfectly. You got to deal with cheerleaders, little kids running around.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. So I give a lot of credit to the trickers for just like pushing the boundaries. And I do want to see, like in terms of career, like personal career, there's a lot of great opportunities. But in terms of community, I think this is a case with a lot of communities. Like there are things that we could do to work together.
For sure.
Yeah, and but it's young. It'll take time.
Yeah. I mean, like what Wes said, you can only just look up, because I like with tricking, it's basically just literally just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
As I'm watching now, because I used to be in it like from early 90s to like 20. I think the last time I did something was like 2013. So now like I'm just watching from the sidelines, but I'm like, hey, that looks. I'm just watching. I'm amazed what can be done now.
Yeah, and it's funny because kind of talking about it, it seems every sort of creative industry like this has that type of moment you guys are talking about. So like the two that really come to mind for me is there are people like the Beatles playing electric guitar, and then Jimi Hendrix hit the scene. And then everyone's like, what the, they like had to back up like, whoa, we've been thinking about this all wrong. And like with skateboarding, they thought it was impossible to do the 900. It couldn't happen. It's physically impossible. Tony Hawk tried 40 times at the age of 50. And then he pulled it off, and then he did it again. But then after that, it's so funny how this stuff works, because then after he hit the 900, now there's 14-year-old kids doing 900s. Like
it's basic.
It keeps getting bigger and bigger, and even going back on that point that we had a little bit ago about parents will come to you and ask, well, what's in it for my kid? Like, can they get a job with this? And it's the same thing, with like guitar playing. Like, I can't tell you your kid's going to be Slash, but I mean, like, it's a good thing to learn. Like, learn how to do it, and then you never know, because it's still somewhat in its infancy as far as like full-on career path, and being getting on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, or but it's gonna get there. It's that type of thing. It has that same vibe that it's like, this is going to absolutely explode. There's no question in my mind.
Awesome. It's good to hear.
The cool thing, at least the cool thing is right now, where the people that were there from the beginning that have phased out of tricking, they, and they're doing whatever their jobs are. Like say, like with, I know some of our friends are like doctors, or like, work with like, the human body. So like, say like you have like an injury, and then you can go to that person over there, because they actually know a little bit about tricking, and they know what what the knee can and cannot do, and what should you do or what you should not do. It's like the people from the beginning kind of paving the way to make the road of tricking easier than it was back then, because they say the people that are like say are promoters that was in the scene back in the day are now trying to push it to the public audience, and it's kind of like go ahead.
Some on the team, like currently, and you know, this worried me a little bit, you know. But like some of them are still in school, college, you know, and like they've been telling me like, hey, you know, I changed my what's it called?
Major.
Yeah, you know, to fit like Loopkicks. And I'm like, oh.
There's a little bit of a okay.
I appreciate
think
that
about this, please.
Provide for the pot, but you know, but before you go changing your whole life, it's like
right. Be the lawyer first, and then do this on the side. Maybe
do it on the side.
A few more years of tricking before you change your whole career up, and it's like
exactly.
Sentiment. It's like it's good energy and capture people.
Yeah,
and see, and another thing, and the reason why I think this is really, I mean, there's truly something to it, is like, Marco, how you said, okay, there's people that used to do it back in the day that maybe now be doctors or somebody that can help support it. But I mean, there's also people like you that you were in it super hardcore back in the day, but it's still kind of such a part of where your martial arts journey has gone. And kind of how you think about martial arts as a kind of a fulfillment thing, that you know that we're able to have this episode. Like, it's still so much ingrained. It's like, no, this is going to happen. Like, there's something to this. Yeah, we got to spread the word, spread the message. Because I agree with it. I mean, I did Tong Sudo for what, 13 years, but that is the most by the book. You do your katas, you do your punches a certain way, you're kind of done, you spar a little bit here and there maybe, but it's very, you know, they really went for the art part of martial art. And it was like, you just do this stuff, you do your hour-long presentation, you break a few boards, you bow, and then you're done. It's kind of your gig. But this brings some sort of dynamic, like, you're going to, it makes sense that Marvel were the people that really jumped on this, because it looks like real life superheroes. Yeah. It's just crazy. You just look at it and it's like, this is unbelievable. And you know, and we're going to be linking this in the show notes and all this stuff, but like, Team Loopkicks has their own website. You guys need to go check out these videos, because like, us explaining it is one thing, but until you see someone do 4 like spins in the air, mixing with kicks, doing all this stuff, it's like, how is this can't be real. Like, it's just, it's pushing boundaries that you didn't know existed.
It's developing its identity. It's an interesting thing, tricking is, because it's based off of like martial arts, you know, which is battle, you know, it's but we are a non-contact activity. We just simply don't have contact with each other. But like the moves that we display, especially when they throw the kicks, it's supposed to show that destructive power, you know. And that does go back to martial arts, how, you know, like you're your own like, worst enemy, you know.
Sure.
You can learn how to balance with that, or create harmony with you know, with that side of you. Then
I've seen, from my experience, I've seen people, you know, who say they take martial arts, and they're so traditionalist in that sense, and they try to do tricking. But like, as Chris said, you know, you are your own worst enemy. I've seen people who are so ingrained into like their martial art that it kind of restricts their movement.
Oh, sure. I can see that in a heartbeat. Because, I mean, I'm thinking of the sidekick. I'm just thinking a basic sidekick. And I was taught there are 5 distinct movements. You know what I mean? Like, there are 5 positions of a sidekick. And if you forget one of them, that's no longer a sidekick. Like, that's how it was taught. So you're thinking like, well, I have to bring the leg up, and then I have to pivot my back foot 45 degrees. You're so like textbook on how, because you know, whenever you're in a lineup of 30 people and you're doing a kata at like the 4th of July parade, you need to be on point. It's like a choreography thing. Like everyone, you're just a synchronized swimmer at that point. You know, and then of course, whenever you get to sparring, it's kind of all that goes out the window, because here's someone coming at me. Like, what am I going to do? But it's nice because it looks like it takes the beauty, like tricking takes the beauty of the art form of martial art, and then it takes in that energy of like the live sparring. But it's just you. Like you're doing that movement. You're going after it. And you never know like what you're going to see next.
Right.
If you fall, that's because you have to make an adjustment. So you learn really quick. And I think as a whole, tricking is very like open and expressive like that. And the cool thing is like it's starting to see more structure. Community is coming together more and organizing schedules, and, staying off of each other's dates and whatnot. And so that'll add. Yeah, because once we start developing more structure, like who knows how fast this thing can grow, And, I think that's one of the only things that's really been lacking. Is I guess in our escape from traditional side of things, because I got in trouble with Master Reyes for tricking after class, or during classes, Where's like stop jumping. And, that's why we had to create our own teams, and it's like, man, it's crazy because when the team was small, we would just get these small little gigs, but then as soon as we like broke off and really started promoting ourselves, like we got called in for all kinds of gigs. What the heck is this? Like we weren't prepared, and but luckily we were able to grab it by its coattails.
When the opportunity presented itself.
Extremely blessed, and I give a lot of credit to the Bay Area though too, because the amount of connectivity, people to people, people are so connected out here, and I think that's it's why the local community here keeps growing, right? And it's also why like the international community wants to keep coming to California. So it's, I don't know, really cool.
And that's good that you focus on the local community, because basically, like I said before, once you get at either at a certain age, you're not able to do it as much or do it at all. So you got to kind of like baseball like analogy, like it's like a farming system at this point where you're developing the younger talent now to get them ready for whatever may be thrown at them, whether it's like being known internationally or like going straight to the stuntman or going straight to being like a YouTube viral person or whatever. You're kind of getting them ready and giving them like the groundwork.
I'm living vicariously through these youngins, bro. They got so much energy. Like really, all I need to do is just I do my events, and then the whole community starts doing their own events. It's like, that's how everyone just needs to kill their work, produce stuff.
Yeah,
it is scary, because I know martial arts when it first came out, like it was scary for a while, and then Bruce Lee, that whole thing happened, right? And he kind of opened up the whole world to, martial arts is not so exotic. It's not so exotic where you need to be scared of it, like Bruce Lee helped with that, and I think tricking there's a little bit of that. It's like, first impression. I wonder how the first impression goes, like to a person when they see tricking. It goes either one of two ways. It's like they can either see it and be like, "Holy shit, it's the craziest thing! Like I want to do this right now," or they can look at it like, "Holy shit, that's the craziest thing! I'll never be able to do any of that stuff."
Right.
You'll think it one of two ways.
Yeah. So I guess that's why I'm trying to focus on the academic side of it, because the more I can articulate it to the youngins and the parents too, the more people get exposed to it.
Cool.
That'd be a cool thing.
Cool, man.
Like we've been doing the camp for like 15 years, 14 years.
Jeez, is it really been 15 years?
Team got together in '99, right? So we're nearing our 20-year anniversary, bro.
Oh my goodness.
And then our first camp was
2004. Yeah, right. That's right. 2004.
Yeah.
Oh man, that first camp was all the campers in one house. Sardines. It was sardines.
We didn't have Airbnb back then.
No B&Bs, no hotel. We weren't ready for that, and everybody had to use their cars to, drive people everywhere. Like now it's you can get vans or buses to drive people around, but dude, yeah, man. Like I remember that first year of camp, like we were all sardines and using like 1.5 bathrooms, just waiting for people to get out and stuff. But like that was the fun of it at the same time, because it was like it's heck of budget, but like we're all in it together at the same time.
It's part survival camp. So when you're like with the it's like you feel it. It's like it's powerful.
It is.
It's
crazy. Yeah. Dude.
The night show always made it worth it, though, huh?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. Because with Wes, with the night show, basically when we had these camps, we'd invite all the big name people, as when we were back in the day, like all the like sport karate people that do the open competitions, and they're like super well known. We'd invite all those people because that's we were in at that moment, right? So like they would do performances, they would do their forms that they do in competitions and where they would win championships, and they would just and in those forms, in that setting, they would just hang loose and just go buck wild, because they're not trying to perform to win a trophy or win some money.
Sure, yeah.
They just want to just perform just because they love to do it, and they're going wilding out because the crowd, the campers, are giving that energy to them, and so now they have to bring it back to them. So like
gotcha.
Those night shows were great and awesome. I just sending that energy and bringing it back. It's like wrestling, basically, like literally like wrestling.
Oh yeah,
you feed into people the crowd, or the crowd's feeding into you.
Yeah, when you're at that other level of like skill, and then someone gives you free reign, like do whatever you want, and you're like, oh really? Well, here's something I've been working on, and then you start blowing minds.
Exactly. Yeah.
First
year, dude.
Those creative endeavors, man, are just there's something to be said, and like, because I did martial arts for a while, and then I got out of it, and probably about 5 years ago I started picking up like bodybuilding. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was a scrawny kid growing up, so let's see what can happen if I put my mind to it and drink an ungodly amount of protein a day. And and you start seeing results. You know what I mean? Like you can have a network of people, and like the stuff like the gathering is super important to kind of build that culture around it. But there's something to be said about, it's a silly gaming term, but like a single player endeavor. Like, here's a journey that just you go on. And you can have people in a support system, and people that have done it before you, and people that are coming up after you and stuff. But each individual has their own, like you were saying, like your own story. You follow that one story. And there's something super important about that. Because, and Marco and I have always said this type of stuff. Like, we always say, you do you. Whatever you're about, if you like doing freestyle hip hop, if you like, painting or playing music or tricking or, skateboarding or wrestling, whatever it is, like, go be the best at what that is, because that confidence that you build up from being good at the thing that you love is just going to seep into all the other parts of your life. You're going to do better at work. You're going to get better grades. Like, it just happens. And it sounds trite and cliche and stuff, but like, the better you get at the thing that you love, the better you're going to get at everything else, just by proxy, because you know what it's like to succeed. You know what I mean? Like, you've done it before. You've been in a situation that you were bad at something, but then you got better, and now you know what that feels like. Like, oh yeah, I need to start at this because I'm going to suck. Like, I'm not going to be as good as I want to be. But if I, 5 days a week or 4 days a week, however much time I want to put in, over time, I'm going to get better at the thing. And there's no real feeling like that. Yeah,
totally, man. Totally. And like you said, everybody's road is like totally different. It's not going to be the same as the other person. Like you said with you went to bodybuilding, and like, you saw progress and results. With Chris, like, once he, not able to do it as much, or not at all. I mean, other than the fact that I heard some Facebook conversations, I was hearing you have like double, like a dub, like either as a full twist or I don't know what you just said, but like conversation on Facebook.
Could learn new tricks, bro.
Yeah, old men can learn some new tricks. Like, I gotta see this now. I'm not saying I doubt you, but I was like, what? Like, you still going, dude? I literally stopped because my knees can't handle. And you have broken knees.
Yeah, my knees are broke. It's like, I think that's why I got so big on teaching, is I really had a hard time continuing it because we were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
We were the ones that were like, conceptualizing these new moves.
Yeah, so you're literally like Jiraiya or any of those anime old men teaching people like from the far distance.
I'm the crazy old man, you know, that's kind of giggling in the corner and it's like doing nonsense. You listen a little deeper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, see, Rocky wouldn't have been shit without Adrian. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. You gotta have Adrian.
Mick. Yeah, Rocky without Mick, sort of thing. You're a bum. You know.
I know.
Like,
going back to what you were talking about earlier, about people's like skills. That's cool. Tricking also is, and much like what you're doing right now, Mark. There's trickers that will join the community. That they'll come with like a side hobby, you know, or side passion, like photography. Yeah. So come with you know, they'll skateboard a little bit, or they'll come in the Photoshop or video.
Yeah.
And it's cool because they'll be noobs at it. And get to know these kids through the years in the community. It's like our edits. The edits are getting better. Oh shoot, it's looking like, oh dang, he created his camera. Got you. It's like, whoa, and all of his work is like videos and tricks.
Yeah. Like as you said, like with Wes, bodybuilding, you teaching, I just wanted to talk to people about the things I'm interested in, so I made a YouTube channel out of it. Like everybody's road is different, you know. But like when we were doing tricking, it was like that's what we were all about, because we wanted to see where it can go in that beginning stages. But dude,
like tricking DJs, tricking photographers.
DJing, yeah,
and it's cool because
photography with Tony, you know.
Yeah, and they all
freaking ramen food. Pat Chu doing Ninja Warrior stuff, doing Ninja Warrior competitions, you know. And it's not even so much of like tricking is using the tricking movement into Ninja Warrior. It just like it gave him the like kind of like the strength and explosion to be able to do the jumps of like, you know, jumping from like one end to the other or that sort of thing, or like maybe arm hand control, like to be able to, you know, like hang for a good long time or something like that, you know. So yeah. And then like there's also like clips of like MMA fighters, like when they're in their downtime, they're relaxing, they're throwing tricks. Like, what the heck? I thought you were just all about fighting, but they're throwing like corkscrews and celebrations like hodas and like, you know, in a circle and stuff, ciphers and stuff.
What's that one kid on the Webster's? Sage, right?
Sage. Yeah. Sage. What, Northcutt?
Yeah. Well, he got put into UFC, but he's just been good.
Yeah, he was a tricker first, and then all of a sudden, he's in UFC now. Like, what the heck?
So you know, it's just it's overall body movement. I mean, you can say dance is body movement, but dance has a very full performance value.
Yeah.
And it can still express you know, aggression, you know, but man, martial arts tricking can really express, you know, balance between aggression, precision. I don't know. It's really cool. A lot of the trickers, they're pacifists, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, our sport is like okay. I don't know if there's anybody that jump high and kick faster than trickers.
Yeah,
it's devastating things that a person can touch you with, but we're not in contact. You know, so it's great thing.
Yeah, anybody that's martial arts that got into tricking, they were fighters before that. So get that in your head. Like, we didn't just start doing katas and like, okay, I want to do tricking. Yeah. No, we were hitting each other basically. Yeah. And I was like, oh, hey, this thing is cool. Let's try this out. And
when they say like, oh yeah, well, wouldn't it work in a fight? It's like, I mean, probably not, but I wouldn't use it in a fight. I would probably straight right or my left uppercut. Not a funny thing to deal with, you know. Yeah. A little bit of language. Think like a lot of people still think that we're doing like gymnastics or you know, some time for get the vernacular changed on it, you know.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, the perception.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I'm pretty patient about it. Like these youngins, they're like impatient. It's like tricky to get. Like, be patient, but I also love that sentiment because it's like they're working hard, you know. And,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's great,
That's
Mark.
funny.
We've done our work, you know. What I mean? These kids are amazing. You should see the new team too.
That's funny because I literally just watched like Spider-Man Homecoming like Monday.
Oh, yeah,
and that whole attitude of like I want to prove myself, and you just literally just set the example of like these kids want to do, they want to go like for like, you know, triple twist or, you know, quadruple or whatever. Like, dude, like, hey, hang on, learn the basics first, you know.
Right.
Learn your, you know, your regular spider swing before you do like, you know, like taser spider swing or something like that. But dude, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But the potential there is amazing on like a youngin that's one that's so passionate about it.
Oh yeah.
Sort of thing.
Just that raw energy.
And then they can convey that passion once, you know, they find something else, you know, and then boom, you know, take off from there too, or whatever they're passionate about as well. Yeah, man.
Yeah, there seems to always be the one, right? Like, there's the one person that gets it all, like Bruce Lee, perfect example, because he got the actual attitude and the whole spirit of martial arts, but was somehow able to convey it in Hollywood. Which, if you know, you look at the mentality of martial arts and you look at the mentality of Hollywood, those could not be further from one another. Like, you know, Hollywood is all about the narcissism and what can I get out of this and all this stuff, but martial arts is very much like, give yourself over. Things are way bigger than you are. You're part of this. You know, like it's a way different mentality. But somehow he was that microcosm that just brought it all together. And like, you know, people bring up Tony Hawk and stuff for skateboarding, but my guy was Rodney Mullen. So the very first time I saw Rodney Mullen do street skating, I thought it was fake first. I was like, that he can't do that. He's like, he's doing handstands on skateboards and then flicking it with his hand and like backflipping into it and all this other stuff. I was like, what in the hell? Like, this guy's 40. There's no way this is real. But that was his shtick, man. He had that energy. And even back in the early 70s, he was doing crazy board tricks. He was doing the pogo stick stuff. No one thought about a skateboard in that way. But then he comes around and he does it, you know, from the age of 15. And then does it, and he's still doing it. And he's, I think, 62, and he's still knocking it out of the park. You know what I mean? And I think tricking is going to have, or do you guys feel like tricking has had that one person, or do you think that person has yet to find the hobby, or is it one of the young guns that's going right now? Like, no, I'm going to change the world. You know.
Great question, because for a while that guy did exist. His name was Mike Guthrie. And well, I don't know. It's been phases because the guy before Michael Guthrie was his name is Anise. He's the guy that Rinsler and on too, right? So it's cool. And you look at the top guy right now. There's kids that are younger now, like 10, 8, 9. Potentiality is like greater than Mike's today, and and he's like a level 12. Like, he's high level.
Wow.
Michael Guthrie, right? Marco?
I think Marco may have disconnected, but we'll get him back at the call.
Yeah, no, there's missions are already popping up that are just current generation out of the water.
Yeah,
it points to the learning curve of I guess this multimedia. We have so much access to. You know how everybody uploads it as quick as possible.
Right.
Insta, Snapchat. So they got followers. Like, some of those followers are little kids that are just trying to copy.
Gotcha. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, there's kids out there that 10, 11, 12.
Me and Wes always talk about like you got to do all the social media now, all of them,
Every one of them,
all of them, literally all of them. Tinder too.
Yeah, get on it, swipe right, do whatever you got to do.
Swipe right,
That's it.
Yeah, just to, push.
There's so many platforms out there these days.
So many platforms, right?
Yeah, you got to shill it, man.
Dude.
So okay, and this is actually a question for both of you guys. So you find influence in things like the fighting games and just all these crazy things. Is there one move that you've seen in either multimedia or even wire work or whatever that you're like, one day I'm gonna do that? Is there like a brass ring, one move that you haven't been able to do yet that in a perfect world, give me a year of practice, one day I could do this, like quadruple backflip with a, you know what I mean? Like just some outrageous, it's just right out of grasp. Is there one of those, or is it more so like, no, I feel comfortable with where I'm at?
Is that Team Marco?
Yeah, who's that too?
Yeah, both of you.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Okay. So what got me into like the start of the road of tricking was basically Guile's flash kick.
Ooh,
That's basically it.
Good
Guile's
call.
Flash kick.
Yeah.
Oh, then you know what the most beautiful triple kick is, if we're gonna go Street Fighter route, is one leads, not the upside down one, but that one that shoots 45 up.
Yeah.
Beautiful lines. Nobody's done that. Nobody's done that in the community yet. Like done variations, just not that pretty. Like
not upward, going upward.
Literally defying physics.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you get someone that can do that, that's who makes it. That's who breaks that barrier, because people are going to be like, that shit's fake. Like, there's no way they went up diagonal 45 degrees from nothing. There's no way.
Kicking upward.
Juggling, dude.
Yeah, you're juggling. If somebody can double jump in real life, then like I'm done.
Yeah, it's a done deal. It's gonna happen somehow.
Somebody's
it's gotta happen.
Double jump, air dash.
I'm gonna go deep on you guys. Okay, so I've been studying a little bit about like Chinese divinology, and so this makes me want to have a freaking like I need to get my shit together, have a kid. my kid is gonna be the one to unlock the sense of flight. Or my grandkid, but I think that's good. Yeah. I think in some meta, some off far left field, I think a tricker is gonna be the first person to unlock flight.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I think it's just a sense. It's like the 8th or 9th sense. It's just like
one of us is gonna do that. One of us is gonna do the Agoken Akuma rivalry of like, you only have 2 students and you teach them. Somebody's gonna throw their kid into a volcano,
right, Tekken style,
and have a pet bear and all that stuff. So like, one of us is gonna do one of those things.
It's like art imitates life, and then life imitates art.
Yeah, for sure.
Strong.
Dude. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it's cool. Tricking has been a huge blessing. It's man, there's not too much to say though, because it is still very young, and we're finding out a lot as we go.
There's no road paved for us. Basically, we were kind of the start of it. So now we're just seeing what happens from here.
Sure. And I think that's the best way to look at it, because you look at any of those kind of forms of whether it be multimedia or like physical art or anything like that. And, you guys are like, oh, this is still very much in its infancy. But, The Gathering is celebrating its 14th year.
Yeah.
So in the fact of like, you guys don't think it's a supernova to where it's like, no, it's got to get big right now. And if it doesn't get big right now, there's no more hope. And like, it's more of that slow burn of like, we're going to see where this goes. We can see it evolving. but there's something else to it. But in the long run, like 50 years from now, 100 years from now, what is tricking going to look like? You know, I think that's why it's going to survive more so, just because that's the attitude you need to have. It's like, no, it's bigger than we are. We helped found this thing, but let's give it to the young bucks who got something to prove, and they're swinging for the fences, and let's see what boundaries gets pushed and like what direction it goes in.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, well, I wanted to ask you, Chris, since you're kind of like a little bit of a forefather, where do you think it's gonna go in your opinion? The tricking's gonna go, or what can you see ahead of everybody? Like where you think it's gonna be at?
That's a good question. I mean, I think one of these days, it's gonna be a household term, and once that's the case, then not that I'm worried about now. Yeah, once it becomes kind of household, it's really gonna take off. You know, it's a lot of it for tricking. It's just about first just getting the foot in the door, you know, and you know, in the interim while we're doing that, you know, trying to build structure and prep our game. But yeah, you know, it's already speeding up because
So here's an interesting fact about it. The whole thing about tricking. You know how basically martial arts came from, like, you know, Asia and all that stuff. And like with Taekwondo, we learned Taekwondo from basically Koreans, right? So when tricking came into play, like, and it wasn't happening, you know, on the other side of the world, but we seeped into the other side of the world as if we were teaching them, right? Like, you know, like as if they were teaching us martial arts. We're learning like from like the homeland of, like, say, Taekwondo.
Sure.
You know, they were learning about tricking from you know, us. And like what came out of that, like say with the Koreans, as it, like what Chris said before, what they can do and like how they could put their own spin on things and like how they express what tricking is to them, it was like unimaginable to what we were kind of basically what the U.S. or whoever was doing back at home. You know? Same thing with the Russians, when, you know, you're dealing with like snow and like bears and all that stuff outside, and yet this guy's doing tricks, you know, with his GoPro, you know, on the floor, sort of thing,
on a 70-story skyscraper.
Yeah, and then Zangief's doing a spinning pile driver like in the background or something like that, and he's still doing, like, you know, triple backflips or something, and it's crazy, like how tricking is being brought into the international scene, because you don't know what's being brought out there. We don't know. Well, now we do it a little bit, but it's kind of still very much new to them too.
That's interesting. So I just thought about this. So it's totally true. You know, martial arts, especially, you know, Tang Soo Do, Taekwondo, coming from South Korea, and so I'm just curious, and I'm probably gonna get like beat up by a hip hop historian, but like, what did Cali, was that really the place where breakdancing really, like, was that, it was either like Detroit or Cali, or I'm trying to think of the very first part of like the b-boy scene, like where that came from, because I'm wondering if that's the spin that, you know, teams like Loopkicks and, you know, tricking came from, is like, oh, we're seeing this martial art.
My understanding, it was like with hip hop, like it came from like the East Coast. That was from East Coast. Like that's where I think. That's where I think it with b-boying.
Yeah. Because I thought about that. I was like, okay, it's a coastal, like, national, you know, United States thing, and that was our spin on it. So yeah, now that we got Russia in the game, you know, now that, you know, Koreans see it now, and they're like, oh, well, here's what what can we do with it? And then, like, you know, we're gonna get people, who knows, people in Antarctica seeing it, and they're like, you know what, there is some jam that they don't know about, and they're about to get wrecked. Right. You know.
It's in all the different like hubs, I guess, there's like spot cities that house or that hold a lot of trippers. It's like to congregate certain cities, you know.
Yeah. That's how it starts, man. You just get, it's almost that street teams, like literal street teams, I guess, where
Pretty
you
much,
just have
yeah.
these people that believe in the mission all across the U.S. that you may not even know about. It's like you got people in Oklahoma City, you got people in Boston, you got people in, Baltimore, and then before you know it, you guys do another gathering, and now you need 5 buildings because of how many people showed up, and you're like, "Oh, who learned all about tricking? Like, what's going on here?" Like I see that being the thing. Because I mean, even with video game stuff, the big trade shows that started with a consumer electronics show, and the video games were kind of in the back burner, like those weird little kid toys. Let's keep them over there. We'll put them next to like the weird, television sets you can put in the bathtub. Like let's just set video games over there, and then they start picking up a little bit of steam. And then a few years go by, they need to make a whole other conference called Electronic Entertainment Expo. E3. Now E3 is the jam. Now that's evolved into PAX and GDC and all these other things. Yeah. So I see that same thing happening. Tricking's going to start with a gathering, and you're going to get together in the local gyms, and everyone's going to come to Cali. But then before you know it, people on the East Coast are like, "Well, why don't we open up an East Coast gathering?" Yeah. And then it's going to just start sprinkling.
Dude, I have to tell you, I have to tell you, Wes, we literally, back in the day, we literally had a East Coast, West Coast rivalry. We literally had a Tupac and Biggie beef. Like it was so serious back in the day. And like we were like teenagers or whatever, young adults. And it's like, we take this so serious. Like, oh no, West Coast is the best. Like East Coast, like, no, we the best. Sort of
that's
thing.
Great.
Dude, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Huh? Was that?
Remember what they called themselves?
The Beast Coast or no?
No.
What do they call themselves?
Loopkicks, remember?
Oh yeah. They made fun of the name. That's right. They made fun of the name. Yeah. It was. I mean, like it got under my skin, because I was so prideful back in the day. But now it's like hilarious that I just got reminded that Loopkicks was a thing. Jeez.
Oh man. They actually live here now. They done picked up from New York and they live in Cali now. Yeah. But then,
that's right.
Also, it's like any publicity is good. We got big.
Oh, sure.
We got bigger than because of this aggressive publicity. It's like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, right.
So, man. Anyway, so like anything that comes at us, we'll cheese out with it. We're not gonna bitch and moan. Right. We'll cheese out with it. And, I don't know. It's been fun. Like the community is cool. Like, be rough, it could be nice. Very honest.
And I'm glad there was that little bit of beef because it was able to push everybody to what they would normally think that they would have gone. But because there was that beef that like, no, we're better than you, then we had to prove it to each other. Like people were going nuts, like in terms of their training and pushing what moves they can do back in the day. But I was gonna say, like, as tricking kind of seeps through in like the general culture, like Wes, somebody that in wrestling, Will Ospreay, he's basically a tricker.
Oh yeah, well that makes total sense.
The moves that he do, right? Because the moves that he do, like in terms of like the round off backflip outside to do a moonsault, right? And that viral match with Will Ospreay and Ricochet, where they're doing a bunch of flips in the wrestling ring.
Sure.
That sort of thing. Like Will Ospreay basically is what I deem like as a wrestling tricker.
Yeah.
Not so much Ricochet because he's more of the wrestler luchador.
Sure. Right.
But yeah, Will Ospreay is like, what the heck? He's doing like tricker stuff.
Oh yeah, and you'll see, and now it's dabbling. I mean, that's changing the game in pro wrestling.
And then the young Bucks are doing like some tricker stuff.
Yeah, young Bucks are doing it, and you got like John Morrison doing it.
Johnny Mundo. Yeah.
So that it's going to all of these other like Hollywood and pro wrestling, and like it has its footprint there. I still have that inkling. There's going to be that huge breakout moment. There's going to be that big one. You know what I mean? That like now it's going to be on the Today Show, and they're going to get like someone's going to be on TV with Al Roker, and he's going to try to do a thing. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be that. Yeah. It's like I see it. I because it happens with every creative industry. It does. I mean, you guys remember when like David Copperfield would be on the Today Show and he'd make a tank disappear, and you're like, this is absurd. But hey, it got its moment. It got its moment in the sun, and now, I mean, magic. You know, people just take it for granted now because, yeah, of course, magicians. Well, sure. Yeah. But before Siegfried and Roy, that really didn't happen. But I do think there's going to be that big breakout moment, and whether it comes from a movie, like a perfect example. What is that? That Doctor Strange movie?
Yeah.
How the dudes do the hand symbol type things.
Oh yeah.
It's like use like martial arts, like some kung fu hand techniques.
Yeah, exactly, and that gave that the biggest platform. You know, this huge monster movie, and then it's like now everyone wants to learn how to do that stuff, and you're like, but you just want to be that household name, even if for the 15 minutes of fame, because what that's going to do is that that 6-year-old kid that's watching TV and sees that is going to be like, that's what I'm going to do. They're gonna get that moment, and they're gonna be like, that's it. Whatever they're doing, sign me up, because that's my jam.
Totally, man. Totally.
But more and more it'll get out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unknowns, It's a brand new. I think it's like as accessible, inaccessible, I guess. I mean, it is very exotic.
Right.
Still, yeah.
Like I'll never be able to do that. But I completely lost my point. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Since your own video, very self-reliant, guilty, and I think that's why that's how it's able to gain so much application and all.
Yeah.
Since it's of the most, it's of the most extreme movement. Again, not involved in just you and your body.
Right.
Yeah.
And for kids to learn how to do that.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, that's everything. Because if you can't be in tune with yourself, like, who can you be in tune with?
Yeah, totally.
And I guess it's just a guessing game, like who or what's going to be that moment when tricking finally becomes household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a guessing game because as niche as it might be, it is still
it's a gold rush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a gold rush at this point. They're trying to find the big, the big area where it's gonna hit, and it's gonna like what Chris said, it's gonna be a household name. We're doing fine as it is right now, but just you wait.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
In due time.
I totally think so. And I think it has, I mean, no pun intended, but I think it has the legs. It's one of those that it's just gonna it's gonna get established, and then it's gonna just stay steady. Like it's gonna stay at that level. Like, because hell, remember, people thought UFC was barbaric back in the 90s. Yeah. They're like, oh my God, no, this is gonna get outlawed. Like, all these people should be arrested. And now you have Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, and they're set up to do like $400 million at the gate. Like, ridiculous. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like, so yeah.
You got 49-0 fighter fighting 0-0 fighter.
Yeah. Making the most amount of money.
Oh my God.
I mean, not so much Conor McGregor, but like this huge money because everybody wants to see this match. Hey, man, that's promotion.
That's a huge shilling right there. See, I'm convinced now that Dana White and Floyd and Conor are going to be the only three people that bet on Conor McGregor. And then Floyd's going to take a tumble. He's going to take the hit, and then he's going to fall, and they're all three going to be billionaires. I'm convinced.
That can make sense. That makes sense. They can do that.
They'll take the dive, man. Because it's a sham anyway.
Dude.
Oh man. Oh, but I think that might wrap it up. We got, hey, over an hour. Man, time flies when you're having fun.
There you go.
Oh, man. But, yeah. Chris, it has been a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I don't know what to say during these podcasts.
No, it was great,
dude. Don't worry, man. As soon as we start the tricking podcast, then you get used to talking.
That's it. Yep, you got to be co-host of that one.
Something. I've been wanting to like do more content, and I don't got the bones to around anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like just get use what you have at the moment, yes. And then we'll definitely talk about it and get together with people and see if something can happen.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Loopkicks guys, like they'll put like Loopkicks in their tag. They're all like playing. What are the big games?
Yeah.
What's that one shooter?
Oh, is it the Battlegrounds one or?
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
I don't know. It's a shooter. I don't know. But a bunch of them play. I don't know to catch them.
Okay. Destiny or. I know Kang was playing Destiny. That's what I know. Or that's one of the games he's playing.
It's that Blizzard game. Blizzard shooter.
Oh, Overwatch. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they're all playing Overwatch? What?
Yeah. They're all raving about it. It's like, someone stop showing up to practice. Come on. One night show up to practice.
Oh, man. Dude, yep.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, but guys out there in listener land, please, please, please do what you can. Go help Team Loopkicks. You can go to teamloopkicks.com, and literally, I think it's Team Loopkicks on every social media thing that's ever existed. So you go to facebook.com/Team Loopkicks, Instagram, go to @Team Loopkicks, on YouTube, user/Loopkicks, Snapchat, you got it @Loopkicks. I mean, just everywhere, man. Everywhere. It's taken over.
Tinder,
that's what I'm saying. Tinder profile, long walks on the beach. That's right.
Well,
Christian Mingle.
Christian Mingle. Plenty of fish. Just
farmers only.
That's right. Everywhere.
Team Loopkicks.
Oh, but Chris, it's been awesome having you, man.
Thank you so much. And if anybody is in the Bay Area interested in classes, we are in San Jose, Clara. I actually teach Fridays in Burlington, a little more north.
Oh yeah, you do the loop. You do San Jose, and then you go down to South San Francisco and stuff. You do a wrestling loop.
Yeah, I'll get that updated site. And then
cool.
Check us out. Yeah,
absolutely.
One of these days, the team needs to reunite for a day or one of the days of camp and just, I mean, not throw anything, but just watch, just be old men over there and just watch people.
Okay.
Look at these kids doing their quadruples where I can just do 1.5 spins before.
Dude, don't mind me. There's no. If you guys ever want to come, we can do a workout. Come in. I'm big on trampoline these days.
Oh yeah. Easy on the knees.
Freaking out and tricks. It's fun, bro. I don't know. It's like once you hit a trick, though, it's addicting really fast.
I can see that. Yeah, man.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. And of course, Marco Flores, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Go follow him on Twitter, twitter.com/MarcoPolo177. Also at twitter.com/NerdInTheBay. Oh, and I saw that the IRL, the stream, you were rocking it out, man.
I did an IRL stream. Shout out to Dion Lavelle. I know because he's one of our team members, and he basically does music. Yeah. So I tried, with my current Twitch problem, I did IRL. And it was hilarious. I had 5 people in me just training, right? And they're asking me are you homeless? Like they're trolling me, right? One question was, "Are you homeless? Are you autistic?" And the last question, and it made me chuckle, dude. It's just like, "Do you eat ass?" Like, dude, what, like really?
Just going for the Barbara Walters questions right there.
Yeah, you know what, dude? Just give me those affiliate numbers, and you know whatever. You say whatever you want, man.
Pay me that money, and I'll do whatever you want. That's right.
Give me that Twitch affiliate, dude.
Gotta hustle. That's right. Oh man, but this has been episode number 33 of Brothering Around. We thank you guys so much. Definitely head over to comedytohobo.com for all the show notes, the archives, all sorts of fun stuff. I will probably actually put some embedded Loopkicks videos in there for you guys because
oh yeah,
truly unbelievable stuff. I know I say it over and over, but once you see it, your mind's gonna be blown. Your jaw's gonna be on your desk, like insane. Just awesome stuff. But that's our time, guys. I'm your boy, Comedy the Hobo. We'll see you guys next week here on Brothering Around. Peace.
Peace, guys.